Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Captain Shaq here. Well, actually, I'm dead here. Welcome to another behind-the-scenes episode for Space Engineers Group Survival. I decided that I want to release the map that we used for the prequel episode. So there's a bit of confusion in the last episode. Morph was out traveling, and instead of just not doing any videos, which was my original plan, take a week off, I decided, you know what, I could do this really cool prequel to how me and Wasted met, and just kind of build out some of the lore for the universe, which is exactly what we did, and this is the map that I used to do it. Now, this is going to be up in the workshop. I'm still waiting for the okay from a couple mod authors, or specifically I'm waiting for Wasted to let me know if it's okay to release his build in here, and I believe everything else is already public. So I'm going to take you through a tour, though, of everything that's here. You can download this map. Just look in the description below for the link. And yeah, let's take a look at what is available here on this map and a little bit of how we made that episode. Now, I made that episode in one day. One day that was recorded, and then I edited it all night. So we recorded Friday afternoon, and then let me jump into first person here. And then I edited it all night until about 6 a.m. and got it uploaded. That took about an hour and a half. So it was done and ready to go about 30 minutes before release time, which if you guys don't know is Saturday at 8 a.m. So the first thing that we show, the very first thing that we showed in the entire series for the group survival was this Type 6 shuttlecraft that I built on a whim. I built this when I jumped onto the DSN community. I think they were doing like a server thing. They were doing some mini Star Trek builds, and I said, you know what, I'm going to build something really fast. I ended up building this shuttlecraft in about 20 minutes, and I think it looks fantastic, minus the red lipstick that Morph decided to put on there. So if you ever hear us in bloopers screaming about red lipstick, that's code for Morph is, again, changing our builds without asking. He's just jumping in there and changing stuff. And we got the bay back here you can sit in. This is where we've done all those shots of one of us sitting in here, me talking to Alti sitting in the front. And if you didn't notice, you could actually see through the glass of the cockpit. You normally can't do that in the vanilla cockpits. I don't have one equipped right now, but in the vanilla cockpits, you can't see through them. So we actually had to use the, what is this? This is the enhanced cockpit. This is the one that has the control panels that you can install and actually use the LCD screens, which is pretty cool. So that's how we got Alti shots all close up. So we started here. I think in the shot, I'll go into a spectator cam here. We flew the shuttlecraft. I had Alti fly it over this station. This is an IMDC station. You can get this on the workshop. It's actually really cool. All this guy's stuff is fantastic. It's actually a full faction that he's made in Space Engineers from every ship class you can think of, from fighters, bombers, interceptors, carriers. He's built it all with this same kind of color scheme. And I was like, you know, our dry dock needs defenses. And I thought these looked really cool. Like maybe we hired his faction, his corporation to build these for us or something in the lore would be kind of neat. So that's where these came from. I'll show them again. The IMDC defense platforms. And the IMDC is the faction that he's created. So moving on, you probably saw this shuttlecraft moving around in the background of some of the shots. This is actually a guy on autopilot through a collection of waypoints, and you can actually see them there, Captain Shack 1, 2, and 3, just to give the shot a little bit more life in the background. Now, I don't know, nobody mentioned it in the comments, but one of the things that Alti flew by was actually this ship right here, which I'm sure you guys will recognize from the series, from the opening of the series. So, you know, take that how you will. I don't know if it's the same ship. Maybe it is. Maybe it was being refitted. Obviously, a prequel, for everybody who was confused, is before the series started. That's why when we were talking, it's Lieutenant Shack instead of Captain. And Captain, by the way, isn't just a rank, it's also a role on a ship. That's why I took the idea of, like, he's still a lieutenant in this. He's not the rank of Captain, but he takes on the role of Captain. He takes command of the vessel. That's where we got the Captain thing. Now, there are a couple of ships missing here. In this dry dock in the series, in that episode, we had the destroyer that ends up being the main ship that I take command of during the episode. Well, it's not here right now, and I'm actually a little surprised. I thought I had left these over here, but it looks like I didn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the original build. Now, the original build for this ship was, I believe it was the Dakota Frigate. Yeah, was originally this. Now, I built this. This is the Dakota Frigate for the original survival series that me and Alti and Tabby were doing that we just couldn't continue because of, well, people scheduling. But let me pop this over here. This was the original Dakota Frigate. It's actually based off the Nostromo. You know what? I'll just pop the Nostromo in here. I don't have all the mods, but this should still work. Here's the Nostromo. It's based off of this build that was made by Goldukat, and I'm sorry, I can't remember the other person who worked on this. But this is kind of where the ribbing idea came from. You'll recognize this from the original series. This was the big bad ship that Dukat had command of that we ended up blowing a hole through, and Tabby floated out like this, the side hatch here. We blew a giant gaping hole in it. Well, I love this ribbing idea. I was like, you know what, let's make a whole faction based on this to use for that original series. And so I started building out smaller ships to fill out other roles. Like this right here is going to be a small frigate or a destroyer. And the guy, what was it, Chris, Goldukat, and I can't remember the other guy's name, took my idea for this frigate, actually took the hull, and ended up making what you guys now know as the destroyer. If I can find it. Dakota. They modified it into this, which is actually really cool. It's a bit heavier, it's a bit bigger, and it's got some neat functions to it. I'm actually going to leave this one in the build, right? So I won't leave this one in here because that one's not finished. It needs to be reworked. But this is the one that you actually see in the episode with a few changes. In the episode that you watched, there were doors right here, and this ended up being a shuttle bay. But in this version, the original version, it's actually hidden weapon compartments. If I pop in here real quick, and I take command, and I hit all three of these buttons, and we'll go back into spectator mode, it's deploying its weapon systems. So you got the turrets on the top, those are blast doors, and then you've got your rockets, your hidden rocket pods on the inside. Pretty neat. It's a little bit spikier too. I actually went in before this episode and tried to make it a little bit more on par with the Federation ships like this right here, which if we fly over to, you see the coloring there, the orange, I actually went and repainted these so they match. Let's go ahead. We'll fly through one of these dry docks. Now, these are custom built by me for the original series, actually. Me and Alti built these, but they were never used, sadly. We had big plans for the original series, and then sadly, with my move out to North Carolina and then everybody else getting different jobs, it just didn't happen. But that's okay because the new group survival has kind of kicked off and is really going places. So let's go. We're going to run over to another GPS waypoint, which is way out here. You have to be in spectator mode for this to work. Make sure you go full speed in spectator mode using the middle mouse wheel because it's pretty far out. And you'll see a waypoint that says attacked and another one that says reclaimers. And these are going to be, if you notice that planet over there, the set piece, we're coming in right now, for where we were ambushed by pirates. And this is where you'll find the two transports, the pirate fighters and the reclaimers. But yeah, you'll notice that I actually went in and, I guess I didn't for this one. There's the damaged version with the shuttle bay. We replaced those big doors. The reason we replaced those big doors wasn't because we wanted to fit a shuttle in here. It's because the multiplayer code is still pretty borked when it comes to pistons. And so the pistons would just rip the doors right off, and then the door would proceed to wreck the rest of the ship if the ship was moving. Even like 20 meters a second, it would just wreck everything. So we ended up having to bolt everything down. I replaced the turrets with a couple of modded ones. And there you go. There's the ship that you guys know. If you go inside here, you can actually, and I'll just teleport in real fast. Or I won't teleport in real fast. Oh, you know what? I probably don't have, creative tools on, because you got to do that now. Oh, it's just not going to let me do it. Well, anyways, if you go through this door and you go inside, you'll actually see there's Lieutenant Shack's quarters. And you can see into the shuttle bay back here, but I didn't really show that angle. For some reason, in the episode, I didn't show that angle. It actually looks pretty cool. You can see shuttles going in and out of here. This was just an open space that I decided it needed to be a crew quarter, so we could actually do that shot of me being stuck on the inside. And Wasted was supposed to walk by, and I was like, hey, crewman, get over here and get me out. And I think it worked out pretty well. I'm a little sad that episode was so rushed in the editing that there was a lot of shots that I just couldn't do. But we'll save them for another day. If we go right in here, this is actually engineering. So it seems like he walks a pretty far distance, but in reality, he only goes from that door through this door. He's in engineering, and there's the damage, and there's the hole blown into the side, which I actually used the pirate fighter to blow that hole into the side to make it work. And it looks fantastic. The other ship, if you do load up this map, you'll be able to check out, is the cargo vessels that I built. Now, I actually built these. Modified them specifically for this episode and repainted them so they match the Federation colors that we've already established with the Constitution. I think it looks pretty great. Like, we damaged this. This was Alti's idea. Let's go ahead. Oh, that's why I can't teleport. There we go. Because I was in a ship still. We actually damaged this holographic projector, Alti's idea. But if we turn it back on, yeah, those are, I think those are those are blast door blocks that are being holographically projected by that device there. So it makes a nice kind of force field effect. And since they've updated lighting, I think it looks great. Like, that looks fantastic. Let's go back into third person so I can zoom around a little faster. And there's your transport ships. Very much the same ribbing style that I really, really dig. I think it matches that Constitution build, which I didn't build. Yeah, like, I didn't actually build the Constitution. That was Twitchins. I almost said Falnor. No, that was Twitchins. And so Twitch made that one, and it looks so good. So I decided to continue with that color scheme. And that's what you can see here. I recolored this. You get the cargo containers in here from Dead Tech. I love these boxes. If you haven't seen my mod spotlight on that, I highly recommend you check it out. They actually work as storage containers. If I go in here, you can hook these up to pipes. Oh, there's no gravity in here. But you can hook these up to pipes. You can even put stuff inside them just by going up to them. So if you're looking for that real cargo bay, well, look to it. Grab these. These are fantastic. They even got pallets with straps on them that have cargo connection ports on the top and the bottom, so you can pipe these. Very cool. Very cool. Anyhow, let's go ahead and get out of here, though. So we've shown the transports. We've shown the destroyer. This is the destroyer class. I would say these are like transport or frigate class. The modification I made to these for the episode was throw on the fuel tanks and the engines on the back, because I needed something that would be like, hey, you know, if I'm going to be aiming these cannons, I'll aim right for the fuel tanks and I'll blow the whole thing up just to make it work, which I think worked out pretty well. If you look behind the destroyer, you'll see another transport. That is the second transport, and this save specifically is when the pirates are leaving and escorting their ill-gotten gains, their booty, out of the area. Valefor, Captain Valefor. So we'll just swing over here. Now, I don't know if this ship is going to be part of this save. I haven't talked to Wasted about it yet. Hopefully he doesn't mind. Well, that was way too far. I'll jump in one of these and give it a little flight. And there's an undamaged transport. Well, we'll pop in here. Those do have interiors. The interiors aren't anything fantastic, but it's bare bones, but it works. It works. I love these ships, though. These fighters are really cool looking. Painted one green, painted one blue, so you can tell the difference. They're well armed. They do have modded weapons on them. He specifically rebuilt these for this, but just look at that. Just, it's a beast. Close this. And they're really maneuverable and accelerate pretty damn quickly. I threw some rockets on there, so we have some interesting effects when he came in to save the day and he blew up the reclaimers. But that's what we're gonna look at next, though. We're gonna look at some of the reclaimer ships and show you where they're at, and then that'll wrap up kind of this behind-the-scenes look. Yeah, I mean that's basically it. We did a lot of saves. We brought together a lot of different builds that were on the workshop to cut them all together, you know, to make the shots look really well, really go together. We did have a lot of issues, though, because we were down pilots. It was a big rush. I think it was one of the most rushed episodes that I've done so far. But overall, it was better than not having an episode, and I had a lot of fun making it. And that's really what matters. And that you guys enjoy it, of course. We're flying over here, the reclaimers. I don't want to give anything away. Just going to show these real quick. Going to talk to Wasted if whether or not we're going to be spotlighting these or not. But there you go, guys. A little behind the scenes. There's the props. They blow up nicely. Fantastic. If you want to see more of these behind-the-scenes episodes, let me know in the comments below. We'll probably keep doing spotlights of things that we've built so far in the series, because we're always coming up with new and fun things. If you're wondering how we did something specific, go ahead and leave a comment below. I don't want to give away too much, because that kind of kills the... I don't know. It kind of kills the belief in what we're doing, maybe? I don't know. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel for more gaming goodness. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. While I ram this into a cargo ship, let's see your force field save you now. Oh, crap. Oh, shit. You can hear the engines. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, it's made out of heavy armor. The thing is just, it's brutal. I like how the hologram is still up there, though. Fantastic. Later, guys.